This is Get Real and Heal for high-performing women executives and entrepreneurs, where we discuss all things emotional healing and the relationships with yourself, your man, and your money. I'm your host, Jamila McMallow, wife, mother, certified cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner, mindset and relationship expert with over 20 years coaching and mentoring experience. I know that when you're the one that everyone else leans on, the leader and the trailblazer, it can be difficult to let your guard down, be vulnerable, and tend to your own emotions. So I hope today's discussion will allow you a moment to experience a life-changing realization, perhaps even a transformation. So let's begin and get real and heal. Alrighty, so today I'm talking about something that's a little bit different, or it's the same thing, but in a different way. And I want to talk to you about the frequency of love, okay? Unknowingly, I mastered the frequency of love nearly a decade ago, and I really didn't understand what I had done at the time. If you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you already know that now at this point, like 12, 13 years ago, I went through a painful divorce. And after a while, I admitted to myself that I did want to be married again. However, I knew that I did not want a repeat of my first marriage by choosing poorly again. So I owned the fact that I had attracted my first husband, and I needed to make sure that I never attracted a man like that again. I had to change who I was being. So what do I mean by who I was being? Well, my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about men and relationships. So I was being a woman who was attracted to a man that mistreated me. My thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about men and relationships supported that situation in my life. Now, no, I am not to blame for the mistreatment that I experienced. Please don't think I'm saying, if you get abused, it's your fault. It's not. But why I was drawn to a person like that is on me. So I knew that by owning that, but I chose him. Why did I choose him? Because if I can own that, then that means I can choose better. So I had to elevate my frequency so that I was now calibrated to what was healthy and normal instead of what was toxic and abusive, essentially becoming magnetic to the man who possessed the qualities and characteristics I desired. Now, I'm using these terms, and I want you to understand that I'm not saying it because I'm not into woo or any of those types of things, but I really want you to understand the power of your mind and how much control you actually have over your ability to create phenomenal results in your life in any area, but specifically in this relationship with men, in your relationships with men. And so as I, went through this deep inner healing process that I went through, it's actually the process that I walk my clients through. I, of course, relied heavily on God, and really my relationship with him deepened as I dug deeper and deeper and transformed layer by layer within, because remember, what I was really doing was uncovering why was I attracted to a man like this in the first place? And what did I need to change about what I thought, felt, and believed in order to choose differently, in order to trust myself to choose wisely? That's what happened. And so I was successful. A little over 1 year after my divorce was final, I ended up meeting my husband now. He's the love of my life. And, of course, we were married less than 6 months later. And here's the thing. At no point during our marriage have I ever said, man, we needed to date longer. No, because we were very deliberate and intentional about how we dated. And those are secrets and insider tips, I share with my clients inside my program. But the fact is we're getting ready to celebrate 10 years next year. And we have absolutely had our share of challenges. Like we lost our first son. That was tough. There's no way around that. Me losing my corporate job. And then, of course, raising two little kids. They're just 2.5 years apart. And the thing about it is, because I had mastered that frequency of love, I attracted an elevated relationship, my husband. And the bond that we have has grown stronger through every trial and every test, okay? So if this relationship was fly by night, if it wasn't real, if it wasn't rooted in anything solid, the death of our son would have ended it. You know what I'm saying? losing a job and having to rely on one income for a time, that could have weakened our relationship as well. And of course, the stresses of parenting, if you have little kids, that is something that can wear and tear on your marriage. But here's the thing. God is love. So he is the frequency. He is the frequency. And so my husband and I, we rooted and wrapped our relationship in him, in God, right from the start. And although the work that I do with my clients is not faith-based, I teach them how to master the frequency of love through self-development, inner healing, and shifting their beliefs. So essentially teaching them how to believe with all certainty that they are going to have the relationship that they desire. I hold space for them to expand through this process and give them the tools to remain in alignment with what it is that they desire. And that is, of course, a good man that wants to pursue them, provide for them, and protect. A loving husband and partner for the rest of their life. So that's it. I mentioned in the last episode about that certainty. That's the key. And so I didn't know when my husband was going to show up. I just had no doubt that he would. I was absolutely convinced that I would not only be married again, but that I would be married to a wonderful man who met my standards. And the beautiful thing about when we rely on God for things is he's not limited to what we ask for in our prayers. He always goes beyond, more than super abundantly, beyond anything we could have ever asked for or conceived. And so, of course, he exceeded my expectations, my husband. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today, is about this frequency of love. You'll hear people talk about this in different ways. Oh, there's frequency, there's vibrations. It's true. We do each have a frequency. We do each have a vibration, but ultimately what it is what's going on between our two ears. It's what it is that we're thinking about. And our thoughts come from what we believe to be true and possible, because we're going to think about what we believe is true. And then those are the results that we're going to go out and continue to create for ourselves. So if we don't believe that good men exist, or if we don't believe that good men are abundant, then we're always going to feel this sense of anxiety, or like we're running out of time, or like we're never going to find anyone, or all the good men are taken, and we're going to feel like we have to compete with other women. And it really is a choice. You deciding to believe something differently, when you decide that no, it's an abundance. They're in abundance. They're everywhere, just like you've done when it comes to money. You know that money is in abundance. It is not lack or scarce. There's nothing that is in lack or scarcity. It is an abundant. It's abundant. God is abundant. Everything he's created, there's a lot of it. Now, there may be reasons why people don't have access to what is available, but it is not because it's not available. And so if you change what you think, feel, and believe to be true when it comes to men and relationships, and how you are able to receive men and relationships into your life, then you're going to be empowered to create different results for yourself. You're not at the whim and will of whatever it was that you were taught, of whatever it is that your other single friends are complaining about. And I would encourage you, if you have any unhappily married friends, that you don't listen to them either, because that's not the type of married woman you're trying to be. Even if you've been married before, like I was, even if you've gotten it wrong before, that doesn't mean you're doomed to repeat your mistakes. That means you have had an experience from which you can learn, and you can learn to do better. You can choose wisely. You can trust yourself, okay? But it is going to take deliberate and intentional work. And if you haven't done that work, then no, you are going to struggle to trust yourself, because you're not clear on actually what your pattern is when it comes to attracting men. You're not clear on what it is that you need to do to crush that pattern. And you're not really clear on what it is that you actually want. Oftentimes, we're very clear on what it is that we do not want, but we are not crystal clear on what we do want because we're afraid to ask for it. We can put conditions and limits on ourselves as if, no. Where is it written that you have to put limits on what you're asking for? Why not? It's your mind. You get to think about whatever you want. It's your mind. You get to believe whatever you want. It's your imagination. So why not make your wildest dreams come true? Why would you want to spend all your energy focusing on limitations and reducing your dreams to just possibilities. Well, maybe if and only. No, absolutely not. Don't do that. Not at all, not ever. You can master the frequency of love, if that's what you want to call it, or not, you know. But the truth is what you're really doing is you're mastering yourself, and you're mastering your ability to create the results that you desire in this area of your life. But it is going to require support. It is going to require guidance, because listen, you are a top performer. You solve problems all day long. If you could have figured this out, you would already have done it. And I already know that you invest in yourself, and you have the executive coach, the health coach, all these people supporting you in these different areas of your life. So this is no different. So I want to encourage you to not feel like it is a weakness on your part to seek help when it comes to mastering this area of your life, but rather view it as empowering yourself to move closer to your goals faster, being able to collapse time and getting to that relationship that you've been desiring, that you've been dreaming of, without all of the pitfalls and problems, that you'll be able to avoid that. So if anything I've shared with you resonates, I would love, love, love to hear from you. You can visit CoachJamila.com and book a call with me. And we'll take it from there. Visit CoachJamila.com, where you'll find the links to connect with me on social media and more information on my private coaching for high-performing women.